A pleasant morning, ma'am. So today, together with my group mates, we will be presenting to you our SLE number 1, which is all about service delivery system of our chosen establishment. So our chosen establishment is the Bambi Resort, which is located in Barangay Tondod, San Jose City, Nueva Ecija. So Bambi Resort or Bella Vista is a family resort. It is also known as Bella Vista because there is a huge sign on the entrance named as Bella Vista. So generally, it focuses on swimming pools for kids and adults and cottages that are perfect for family, friends, getaways, and reunions. They are also offering some function halls for events like weddings, birthdays, and more. So the resort is wide and it offers 50 cottages that has different sizes to cater different groups. So they also have 6 swimming pools in different sizes also. 2 swimming pools are for private pool. However, during peak season, it is open to public. The resort does not yet offer lodging since they believe that guests are just visiting for a single day only and do not need a place to stay. So the other pools caters to the needs of the kids and adult and also for senior citizens. So now let's move on to the service environment analysis. So let's first start with the ambient conditions of the Bambi Resort. So Bambi Resort is situated in the middle of the rice field in Barangay Tondon. However, it is still accessible whether you are coming from Science City of Muñoz or you are coming from the San Jose City. So when we enter the vicinity, wide parking space welcomed us, and when we enter to the main entrance, the friendly staff greeted us, and you can see the tropical vibes that it gives because of the plants, the decorations, the facilities. During the day, the area was so open, so it gives a lot of space, and it was naturally light filled. So the only shade that you have is the trees, the cottages, and the pool shades. So kahit na mainit, kapag nag-swimming ka doon is malamig yung tubig. And upon asking the receptionist, the maximum capacity of the resort was 2,000 pax or 2,000 person at the same time. So luckily, during our visit, there are less people than expected. So while in the daytime it is naturally light filled, in the nighttime it was the opposite because the area was a bit dark because the lights are only limited to the cottages. So in the pool area, there are less lights. It is hard for you to see the pool area because there are less lights, and it is a bit dangerous to swim because you cannot see everything that is in the pool. When we visited, the area was full of chaotic sounds from the karaoke, from the other cottages, the sound of the children playing, the water splashes from the pool, and a lively, and I can say that it is a lively but not relaxing atmosphere. So Bambi Resort is not a choice for relaxing place. However, if you want more privacy or more quiet than the common area, then you have to pay extra for the private pool inside also the resort. So for the smell, as I have observed, the smoke from different grilled foods and the earthy or paddy smell from the rice field, together with a hint of chlorine from the pool, is surrounding the area. So these conditions can significantly affect and contribute to the overall experience of their guests. And however, this environment is expected, especially in family resorts or public resorts like Bambi because they are catering to their target market, which is the budget side of the market. So now let's move on to the use of space. So the layout and design of the resort is concentrated on making the most of available space in order to maximize their profit, because Bambi Resort has 50 cottages and exempt pa po dito yung kanilang function rooms. And also, despite the lack of accommodation, the money that they make during the peak season of the year can cover the profit that an accommodation establishment can give them. So, a strategic placement also of 6 swimming pools for accessibility from the cottages. So, it caters to, syempre po, di ba, ang swimming pools nila is caters to different ages. So, if the family has children, so it will be easy for them to look for their child kahit na nasa cottage sila, because open space po yung pool. And kahit na nasa other side ka po ng cottage, or ang cottage mo is nasa other side of the area, you can still have an access to the other pool. And they also have wide pathways that a number of people can pass at the same time without touching each other. And also, it is designed for the convenience of the staff in delivering the guests' needs, because they used e-bikes through the pathways. So, it is easier for them to help or to deliver something to the guests. And also, isa po sa napansin namin is yung availability of shower rooms and bathrooms. Dahil nga po malaki masyado yung space, they also utilized na kahit gaano karaming cottages is hindi sila magkukulang sa mga restrooms. At napansin po namin na meron silang apat na restrooms along the area. One of the negative observation po namin is the cottage design or the cottage colors resembles a design of a mausoleum, which can affect the expectations of the guests and their perceptions. And also, the surrounding tiles of the pool tend to be slippery when they touch the water. So, dapat po they should have used textured tiles rather than plain tiles. Now, let's move on naman po sa functional congruence ng environment of the Bambi Resort. So, as I've said earlier, the expansive layout and style clearly complement the resort's marketing image as a family getaway. So, the easy navigation for families with young children and those with mobility issues, the accessible parking and the pathways can help the overall, or can affect the overall experience of the guests. The Bambi Resort, as I've said earlier, is a family resort and features playgrounds and swimming pools that reinforce its identity as a family resort. Lahat po ng designs, facilities, and amenities inside the Bambi Resort is what a family needs when they are in a quick getaway or when they are in a family bonding. So, it shows na ang pagplano ng Bambi sa kanilang resort is focused talaga to provide the needs and preference of the family or group of friends. Now, let's move on naman po sa last part ng ating service environment analysis, which is the signs, symbols, and artifacts. So, one of our observations was the lack of guidance signage on the road leading to the resort. So, however, inside naman po, there are enough directional signs na makakatulong sa guest experience. However, yung impression po nila while finding the resort may be frustrating for them, because kapag ka po hindi ka familiar sa place, ang una mong titingnan pag malapit ka na sa resort is yung mga flaglets na nakatayo malapit sa area. However, sa Bambi Resort po, they do not have one. They just have the one signage na yun na po pala yung likuan papunta or papasok doon sa resort. Ayan. The informational signs such as the resort policies in large and readable tarpaulins. So yun naman po yung isang maganda sa Bambi Resort because hindi lang po isa yung tarpaulin na readable, but when you entered, you can see agad yung resort's policies nila and yung prices and rates, and also pagpasok mo po sa mismong pool area, you also have those resorts policies. And additionally, ayan, the pool depth signs. So, the pool depth signs are written beside the pool. So, malalaman mo po kung gano'n nakalalim yung part ng pool doon, and also it can be helpful for the guests na if they can still reach the pool kasi they are informed firsthand about the deepness of the pool or about the depth of the pool. So, the consistent blue and white color scheme for cottages, pools, and amenities represents the water and cooling effect. So, ito na po, papasok na po siya sa symbols. As yung color blue and white po, yun po talaga ang kulay ng buong area. So, parang sa kanila po, pag nakita natin na blue and white, maisip na po natin na Bambi Resort. Pero, or generally, blue and white naman po talaga ang ginagamit for resorts. However, nag-iisa lang po kasi yung Bambi Resort doon sa Barangay Tondod. That is why, kapag ka nakita mo po na nasa Barangay Tondod, you can, the first thing that comes to your mind will be the Bambi Resort. So, that colors symbolizes the resort. So, the use of local plants, shells, and stones for decoration. So, this part po is pasok na siya for artifacts because local plants and the stones can represent the regional identity.
And next is the servicescape. So the physical setting or the servicescape of a resort, specifically in a Bambi Resort, significantly influences the customer expectation and the overall service experience. And also the resort communicates into a lively and a family-oriented destination that focuses on aquatic activities. And the resort is a very well-maintained and visually appealing environment. Like, before we enter the resort, we observe about the clean swimming pools, landscape gardens that appropriate on the ambience or the environment of the resort, and the different beautiful types of cottages that instantly creates a positive expectation even before or the interaction of the staff. And also from the entrance, you can see or the presence of a large parking area that suggests accessibility for the families that arriving on their own vehicles. It is a crucial factor for this target market. And also, the natural lighting during the day is the opposite during nighttime, which may affect the guest experience. And the provision of a shade through the trees, the different cottages, and the pool umbrellas who demonstrate a consideration for a guest comfort under the tropical climate. However, the limited lighting at night, it creates a contrasting perception of potential danger and reduce usability of the facilities, particularly the pools. This will be the inconsistency might lead to the less of favorable perception of the resorts or the overall service and the safety during the hours. So you can heard about the sound of splashing in the pool, a noise coming from other cottages na hindi naman natin maiwasan kapag crowded na yung area. It is abnormal on that particular or on a one resort. Kasi summer, hindi natin maiwasan na ang pagdami ng mga guests. And also, the resort make it clear that it is not a choice for anybody looking for a peaceful spot. even though it acknowledged that these conditions are typical for a public family pool for a particular market. So this transparency controls expectation but may turn off people or families who value silence. So also, the pathways are clear and easy to navigate, and helpful signage guides guests to different areas such as in a swimming pool, the presence of ample comfort like rooms, parking area, and grilling stations is enhancing ease of access and convenience. So from the entrance, makikita mo na kapag pumasok ka na sa mismong resort, ang bubungad sa iyo is the comfort room, which is from male and female, and the grilling stations na kung saan pwede kang mag-iyaw-hiyaw. They are very organized when it comes to that. And also about the staff, in neat and identifiable uniforms help convey a sense of order and professionalism. It contributes to a well-organized and welcoming social environment. The presence of a jolly, friendly, and approachable staff adds warmth to the experience, making guests feel valued and cared for. So based on observation namin sa the environment are good, it incorporates lahat ng mga elements ng mga decorations sa resort. And also, the pinaka one of the na pwede nilang baguhin about the plan or the resort is about the signages. Kasi hindi mo ma-identify kung saan ba talaga or hindi mo siya makikita agad kung saan ba yung way or saan ba yung sign papunta sa yung sa place ng resort. Is the individual moderators, such as the mood, personality, expectations, and demographics, play a significant role in shaping how guests perceive and experience a resort like our chosen establishment, the Bambi Resort. A guest's mood upon the arrival, of course, can greatly impact their overall satisfaction. Those in a relaxed or a joyful guest state are more likely to appreciate the resort's ambience, while on the other side, the stressed or irritable guest may focus more on the minor flows. The personality traits also affect the experience. For example, extroverted individuals may enjoy the social areas, group cottages, and poolside gatherings, while the introvert guests may seek out quieter corners, private cottages, or the nature-filled surroundings for a solitude and reflection. And also the expectations, they shape prior experiences, like in the social media or a word of mouth can either enhance or diminish a guest's perception. The family resort or label sets certain expectations, including the child-friendly facilities and a welcoming atmosphere for all the ages. And of course, for some kids, the playground equipment and a varied pool sizes for the kids that supports this expectation. However, the noise levels may exceed the tolerance of some families, particularly those with very young children. And lastly, for the demographics, it composed of the age, the income level, and the family structure influence how guests interact with the resorts or a specific establishments. For instances, the families with children are the primary demographic of the Bamba Resort. It prioritizing the safety, the kiddie pools, and accessible cottages. And for the senior guests, on the other hand, may value peaceful surroundings, shaded cottages, and accessible facilities. The resort's capacity for the larger group in the cottages and the social nature of karaoke and pool activities make it appealing for gatherings of friends. And the absence of lodging suggests a focus on affordable day trips. This demographic might prioritize affordability and basic recreational facilities over luxurious amenities or tranquility. They might be more accepting of a sanctuary environment if the price point aligns with their expectations. So may mga times na kapag may mga guests natin na they are preferring on the prices. Like some of the guests siguro kapag medyo mababa yung rate ng price or mura lang yung price ng resort or the entrance fee, maybe parang may isip nila na unti lang yung pool, unti lang yung mga pwede nilang ma-experience on that specific resort. So, Given its location from the Bambis Resort and day trip focus, it attracts a primary local residents from San Jose City, the Science City of Muñoz also, and the surrounding areas of the Nueva Ecija. And also the expectation might be shaped by familiarity with similar local resorts. However, some guests interpret and respond to this setting is also influenced by individual moderators, such of course the mood, personality, and expectations and demographics. So, to understanding this individual moderators, it helps in our chosen establishment, which is the Pampa Resort, not only to maintain its physical environment, but also to provide experiences that cater a diverse needs and preferences of its guests, but also the potential negative perceptions.
The resort often have three kinds of reactions or response. So the first one is the physiological response. It is how the body feels in the place. So the resort has fresh air and cool water, which can help guests feel relaxed and refreshed. But based on my observation, it can be noisy because some cottages play loud karaoke music. So this noise can stop guests from resting well and or feeling calm. Like, for example, I might say, I wanted to take a nap after swimming, but the noise from the other cottages was too loud. So that started to hurt my head. So this shows that the noise affects my comfort and rest. So the second is the mental or cognitive response. It is how people think about the service and facilities. So many guests notice that the staff are friendly and kind, which is good, but there are small problems in the comfort room. So the water in the shower is weak and the drainage is clogged, which causes the floor to flood. Like for instance, the staff are nice, but the bathroom needs fixing. So the water is not strong and the floor got wet because the drain was blocked. So this shows that I am thinking about the quality of the service and the condition of the place. So lastly is the emotional response. It is what guests feel during their stay. Some may feel happy because of the nature and the friendly stuff, but others might feel disappointed or stressed because of the loud noise and bathroom issues. So these problems can make the place feel less peaceful. For example, um, I came here to relax, but the noise and the clogged bathroom made me feel uncomfortable. So it's not peaceful as I expected. So this shows how my feelings change during the stay. So in conclusion, guests at the resort experience different reactions based on what they see, hear, and feel. Understanding their physical comfort, thoughts about the service, and emotions during their stay can help improve the overall guest experience. So even though Bambi Resort has a simple setup, they have taken some good steps to make sure guests feel safe. So they only have one lifeguard on duty because the pool area is very open and he can see everyone swimming there. So having one lifeguard during non-busy days is okay, but during peak season, he cannot watch over all the guests because there are too many people. So additionally, there are life rings in the corner of the pool that can be utilized in case of an emergency. So these are good efforts, yet there are a handful of areas in which the resort may improve to make the experience more enjoyable. So one of the main things that Bambi Resort needs to work on is the number of staff. So at present, only 8 people work there, but during the peak seasons, they have around 2,000 guests or more. So that's too much for a small group to handle. So this makes the service feel a little slow or disorganized at times. So it would really help if they hired more staff during busy days. So even if the workers are family members, giving them some basic trainings, especially in customer service and safety, would make a big difference. So also, since there are 6 swimming pools and they are all open during peak season, it might be safer to have additional lifeguard on duty. So that way, everyone can enjoy swimming while knowing someone is watching over them for their safety. So, aside from that, the resort could manage the crowd better by setting a limit on how many guests can enter in a day or by using a simple reservation system. So, it would be easier to minimize congestions and provide a more pleasant experience for everyone if this we're done. So by posting clear signs throughout the resort that include pool regulations and safety warnings, so visitors would be better able to understand what they should do and what they should avoid doing. So another step that is simple but essential is to ensure that they have a first aid kit on hand in the event of any small accident. So providing the workers with trainings in basic first aid would help the visitors feel more comfortable, particularly in case anything unexpected happens.
So next we have the Routledge Principles of Design. So Albert J. Routledge introduced certain principles on how to effectively um, design establishments for the purpose of both the guests and the employees, as they are the ones who utilizes the establishment spaces. So yung mga principles of designs po ni Routledge are the following. So number 1 is everything should have a purpose. Number 2, design should be both for employees and guests. Number 3 is the function and aesthetics. Number 4 is to set up a substantial experience for the guests and employees. Number 5 is to set up an appropriate experience for guests and employees. Number 6 is to adhere to technical requirements. Number 7 is to comply with needs in the lowest possible cost. And lastly is to establish design with less supervision. So for the first one, we have the everything should have a purpose. So upon arrival at Bambi Resort, we notice several elements, and these are the following. So first are the natural elements. So nung pumunta po kami sa Bambi Resort, there are several plants and trees upon arrival. So, pagpunta mo pa lang doon sa Bambi, is makikita mo agad yung mga puno na doon sa parking area nila. And then, pagpunta mo naman po doon sa counter is meron pa rin po mas madami pa na mga plants and shrubs. And mas lalo na doon sa gawing garden nila, doon sa katabi ng pathway nila. So, it serves its purpose. It is to integrate the resort seamlessly with its natural surroundings, enhancing the guest experience with the beauty and tranquility of nature while promoting environmental sustainability. So next, we have the use areas. So, mga use areas na na-identify po namin sa Bambi Resort is first of all yung parking area nila. Yung parking area po nila, as I have said earlier, is may mga trees na nagsiserve as shade para dun sa mga sasakyan. Next po is yung store nila na pwede pong puntahan ng mga guests whenever they want some snacks or beverages, and they also offer alcoholic drinks na hanggang 3 p.m. lang po nila binibenta. So, meron din po sa resort nila multiple bathrooms. So, nung inikot po namin yung Bambi Resort, hindi lang po isa, kundi multiple bathrooms po ang meron sila sa iba't ibang areas, which is convenient po sa mga guests whenever they are in the hotel. So, yung mga yun po is meron din po silang mga shower rooms. So next, yung purpose po nun is to optimize the functionality of the resort, catering to the diverse needs and preferences of the guests, whether they seek relaxation or recreation. So next, we have the major structures. So first and foremost are the pools. So yung pools po sa Bambi Resort ay hindi lang isa, dalawa, kundi 6. And 2 of their pools are actually private pools. So yung pools po yung pinaka main product po ng resort nila. So next are the event spaces, which are the mini halls po nila doon sa Bambi Resorts that is perfect for outdoor venues and gatherings. So the purpose of this is to provide essential services and amenities in a comfortable and efficient manner that creates a welcoming and functional environment for the guests. So next, we have the minor structures. So first of all, they have a drainage system. So upon arrival at Bambi Resort, so mismo sa loob po is may nakita po kaming drainage system. Yung drainage system po nila na yun is nako-cover po yun ng metal, which is good kasi nadadaanan pa rin po siya ng mga guests. So hindi siya nakakasagabal, kumbaga. So next is the storage room. So upon arrival po, sakto may nakita kaming staff na nagpunta doon at nilagay doon yung cleaning materials nila, which is good kasi nasa isang area lang po siya. And hindi mo makikita napakalat-kalat yung mga materials and equipments nila. So next is the parking lot. So as I have said before, meron silang designated parking lot, perfect for their vehicles na meron din pong shadings na dahil sa mga puno. So next is the pathway. So kapag pumunta po kayo sa Bambi Resort, you will see a tunnel pathway. So yung tunnel po na yun is meron po siyang mga plants sa taas which also serve as a shade for the visitors. So ang kagandahan din po nun is it is also aesthetically appealing kasi meron po siyang para siyang bridal ang design niya, kumbaga. And next are the umbrellas. So yung umbrellas, yun po yung isa sa mga in-avail po namin nung pumunta po kami doon. Yung umbrellas po nila is good for 4 packs. Pero ang maganda po kasi doon is di ba kapag may umbrella, meron siyang mismong umbrella, and then meron pa silang nilagay na parang net sa taas na nagba-block ng direct sunlight. So meron din silang mga cottages such as kubo. So the purpose of those minor structures is to enhance the overall guest experience by providing convenient and comfortable amenities and ensuring the safety and ease of navigation. So next is the forces of nature. So in Bambi Resort, may mga trees and plants po tayong na nasabi kanina. These are good for ventilation. So allow me to explain. So the trees and plants play a crucial role in regulating the air movement and temperature. So ang benefit po nun is first of all is nabibigay siya ng shade that blocks the direct sunlight from heating the outdoor areas. So this reduces the amounts of heat absorbed, keeping these spaces cooler. So it also regulates airflow. So strategically placed trees and shrubs can direct and channel wind, promoting natural ventilation. They can create breezes that flow through the areas and open spaces, removing warm air and bringing the cool air. So, so the purpose of this is to reduce the need for energy-intensive mechanical cooling systems like air conditioning. It also lowers the energy cost and environmental impact. It also helps to create more comfortable and enjoyable outdoor environment for guests, encouraging them to spend time in nature. So it also improves air quality by filtering pollutants and increasing oxygen levels. So next is to take advantage of the sun. So sabihin na natin na weakness nga yung sun dahil mainit, so we can take advantage of it. So while excessive sun can lead to overheating, it can also be a valuable resource when managed effectively. So unang-una is yung daylighting. Yung natural sunlight can be used to illuminate interior spaces, reducing the need for artificial lighting. So next is they can implement, although hindi po namin nakita personally kung meron o wala, they can implement a solar energy. So sunlight can be harnessed to generate electricity through solar panels, providing a renewable energy source for the resort. So, pwede po itong ma-install sa mga rooftops or open areas to generate electricity throughout the hotel's operation. So, its purpose is to reduce the resource resilience on fossil fuels and lower its carbon footprint. It is to decrease energy costs associated with lighting and electricity. It also creates bright and airy interior spaces that enhance the guest experience dahil po dun sa mga trees na nagsaserve as shades. So the overall purpose of this is to create a sustainable and resilient resort that works in harmony with the local environment, minimizing its impact and maximizing its efficiency. Now, we move on to the second principle of design. So, the design should be both for employees and guests. So, it is important to consider the physical strengths and weaknesses of the site. So, for example nga po is yung area po nila is tends to be hot because of the direction of the sun. So, sa pagpa-plan po nila is makikita po natin na may mga trees for shadings, and yung areas po nila is naglagay sila ng mga nets or kung ano man yung tawag doon na nagbablock ng direct sunlight. So this purpose is to create a supportive and efficient work environment for employees, which in turn enhances the quality of service provided to the guests. So dahil nga po maganda yung place, yung design niya, yung shadings, is hindi lang yung guests nakaka-benefit doon, pati yung mga employees na nagtatrabaho doon, syempre hindi sila masyado maiinitan sa paggawa. So the next principle of design is the function and aesthetic. So when we went to Bambi Resort, we noticed several of these. So first of all is the pathway, which I have mentioned earlier. So upon arrival, masalo na dun sa may going entrance is meron aesthetically appealing ito, and at the same time it serves as a shade for the guests when they walk in that area. So next is the designs of the slides. So yung mga slides nila is hindi lang yung karaniwang boring slides na makikita natin sa mga ibang resorts. Yung mga slides na yun, especially sa mga kiddie pools, is meron silang mga design ng mga cartoon. So mas maiengganyo maglaro yung mga bata sa tubig. So next is yung mga upuan nila. Napansin namin na yung mga upuan nila is may mga butterfly shaped na chairs, meron ding mga flower design chairs. So it is aesthetically appealing, and also it serves as function para upuan ng mga guests. So for the purpose of those function and aesthetics na mentioned natin earlier is, it is to create a resort that is both beautiful and functional, providing guests with a comfortable and visually pleasing experience while also being practical and efficient to operate. So for the fourth principle of design, we have the set up a substantial experience for the guests and the employees. So a service setting must have a holistic view on what it is that we want the guests to experience. So dito tayo nagkakaroon ng theme. So sa Bambi Resort, we have a theme like nature theme, more on serenity in nature, kumbaga. So the resort incorporates elements of Filipino culture like the gatherings and the craftsmanship, kasi makikita natin yun masala na sa mga chairs nila is yung mga chairs kasi nila is they are crafted. So combined with the focus on relaxation and wellness, especially to satisfy the guests. So its purpose is to create an immersive and memorable experience that resonates with both guests and employees, that fosters a sense of connection to nature and local culture.
Now let's move on for Principle 5, which is the appropriate experience for guests and employees. So here, these principles basically emphasize an environment for guests and employees' benefit. So as we observed, the efficient and friendly entrance area with no barriers will benefit the as a guest, the staff at the entrance, because a lot of resorts have designed their entrance as uh, one office that has a barrier that can affect their communication. But for Bambi, since no barriers, the entrance area is made to be efficient and friendly. So the staff can be more open to talk to us, and it lessens the chance for misunderstandings. And next, we have the strategically positioned service stations for staff communication and quickly response. So, this staff communication is very important, lalo na po sa mga resorts, because hindi naman po sa palagi, pero may mga times na kailangan po talaga nilang mag-coordinate in any case of accident or in any case of mas seamless yung kanilang service. So, the staff may readily locate one another due to the strategically positioned service stations, and it enables them to rapidly attend to guest needs and build clear communication. So, sa service naman po ng isang resort, dapat po talaga clear yung communication. And in any other establishments, napaka-importante po ng may clear communications ang bawat staff to avoid the negative feedback of the guests and to avoid misunderstandings from the staff to one another. So next is the Bambi Resort prioritizes simple yet aesthetic layout for the guest enjoyment and easy access. So this implies that the visitor can enjoy taking beautiful photos while having easy access to all of the resort's amenities, including the reception area, the cottages, the pool, and the other activity areas. And additionally, for the employees naman, this easy access layout, yet aesthetic, is benefits also the staff members, because, for example, yung lifeguard po doon, dahil mas konti yung tao that time, so isa lang po yung lifeguard, and kahit nakatayo or nakaupo siya sa station niya, you can see his overall surroundings clearly, dahil open area nga po yung pool and simple lang yung mga designs. Makikita niya agad if may kailangan ba ng tulong doon sa certain area ng pool. And the cottages that has an easy access via spacious paths enables the staff to provide the guest with prompt, seamless service, because they can ride, ayun nga po yung sinabi ko kanina, they can ride an e-bike through it. So if the guest needs if the guest needs help with their things, then the staff can load it to their e-bike and then just drive through the pathways para mas mabilis na maipasok yung mga gamit ng mga guests. So, dahil nga po sa spacious and aesthetic and simple layout design ng Bambi, it can benefit both the guests and staff for a more satisfied experience. For principle number 6, we have here adhering to technical requirements. So, this focuses on the importance of complying with all necessary technical standards, safety regulations, and functional requirements. So, as we are asking the staff at the front or at the entrance, they are confident that their business is registered, that they regularly pay taxes and licenses, because all of those certificates are clearly displayed at the entrance area. The accessible pathways for guests with disabilities, yan. Yan, talaga naman na accessible yung pathways nila and also wide. So, if may wheelchair po yung guest, so they do not have a problem about that. However, sa kanila pong restroom or comfort rooms, hindi po ito designed na in a way na it can cater the PWDs. And the electricity, so they have well-planned electricity, because as we observe and as I personally, I noticed that they do not have dangerous placement of wires near the pool area. And the design of the pool also adhere to the safety guidelines, because there are depth markings, lifeguard chairs, and safety equipment na they can throw away kapag may nangailangan ng tulong, or in case na may nangailangan ng tulong. So, the gentle, yung sa pool po, they have gentle slopes in adult pools for safe depth changes. So, dito po kasi, actually, sa university pool, I have also noticed na meron silang slopes. But sa mga resorts po, it is very, or personally speaking, na sa lahat po ng resorts na napuntahan ko is isa lang po ang Bambi na merong depth slopes or gentle slopes para sa mga malalim na part. So that's a good one po for their design. And ayun nga po, nasabi ko na po kanina, the comfort rooms are not designed for PWDs. Now let's move on to the principle 7, which is complying with needs at the lowest possible costs. So this principle emphasizes the importance of the cost effectiveness in the design process without compromising the quality of the guest experience or the functionality of the resort. So, in Bambi Resort, as I have noticed, they designed their spaces to be functional yet aesthetically pleasing without over-decoration. So, for example po, yung nakikita nyo po sa picture, yung pathway nila to enter the main pool area is just a poste, or is just a post that covered with vines or covered with plants, na kapag naano po natin is simple. They use low maintenance native plants and trees, kagaya po dito sa pathway. Napakinabangan po nila yung natural sunlight na pwedeng ma-enjoy or na pwedeng maka-affect sa kanilang guest experience. However, yung mga trees po na nagsusurround dun sa pathway is maganda tignan sa picture, and it is Instagrammable. So, yung design is aesthetically pleasing, and the design also have function, kasi nga wide yung space, so an e-bike can go or can drive through it. Next po is we have the Principle 8. The Principle 8 is about establishing design with less supervision. So, This principle value a well thought out design that allows for efficient execution with minimal constant oversight. So as I mentioned earlier po, yung mga cottages nila is iisa ang kulay and iisa ang, let's say, ang design. Pa-square lang siya with railings. And it makes the construction easier to create new areas without misunderstandings because yung panggagayahan po nila is nandun na nakatayo. And additionally, they also use trees and plants that need less care, as I mentioned earlier. And to reduce the need for continual worker assistance, they also emphasizes on self-service options. Yun nga po, meron silang mga grilling stations, mga washing areas na hindi na nila kailangan bantayan or hindi na kailangan ng guest na humingi ng tulong sa mga staff because doon na po yung mga needed nilang facilities. And they also offer plenty of natural light and attractive design which can create a friendly environment that invites the visitor to socialize and lessen the need for round-the-clock staffing.
Next, I will discuss the tangibles at Bambi Resort. A guest experience is mainly about how we feel. It's about emotions, memories, and the guest we receive. Because of this, it's often called intangible. But for us to really feel that our experience was worth the money we paid, there should also be tangible things or physical features that support and improve that experience. One of the main tangible features is their pool facilities. They have 6 pools in total and each one is designed for different needs. There are children's pools with slides and play area, adult pools, and private pools for those who want more privacy. This variety gives every guest an option that suits them. What also adds value is the setup around the pools. There are poolside loungers and beautiful chairs where guests can relax, rest, or take pictures. They even place nets over the pools to lessen the heat from the sun, which really shows they care about guest comfort. Aside from the pools, the resort is also well landscaped. When guests enter, they are welcomed by a clean and beautiful entrance with a garden. The pathways have plants, creating a fresh and relaxing atmosphere. For kids, there are swings, kiosks, and animal statues around the garden, making the place more fun and family-friendly. And these areas also serve as a great spots for taking memorable photos. Another important tangible part is the cottages. The resort offers different types of cottages, from a small umbrella for families or small groups, and larger ones for bigger groups. This gives guests flexibility depending on their needs and budget. They also have many comfort rooms all over the resort, so it's easy to find one when needed. And just in case guests forget something, there's an on-site store where they can buy essentials. And all of these tangible features work together to support the overall experience. They add comfort, beauty, and convenience. And even though emotions and memories are the main part of any vacation, it's the physical things like the pools, the gardens, the cottages that help us feel that we really got our money's worth. At Bambi Resort, these tangibles make the whole experience more complete, memorable, and satisfying. And now let's proceed with the culture of Bambi Resort. The culture at Bambi Resort focuses on making guests feel welcome, comfortable, and valued throughout their stay. From the moment guests arrive, they are greeted by friendly and approachable staff, setting a positive tone for their visit. The staff at Bambi Resort play a key role in creating this welcoming atmosphere. They're always ready to assist guests, whether it's answering questions or resolving issues. When problems arise, they respond quickly and work to find solutions, showing their commitment to guest satisfaction. Even small gestures demonstrate the staff's attention to detail. For example, they offer us monoblock chairs when concrete chairs are already available and even before we ask for extra chairs. This shows how much they care about making guests feel as comfortable as possible, helping them feel truly valued. Safety and cleanliness is also important to the resort's culture. Lifeguards are present at all times to ensure the safety of guests, and the resort has clear safety rules. The staff regularly maintain cleanliness throughout the resort, which creates a pleasant and calm environment for guests. Transparency in pricing is another important aspect of Bambi's resort's culture. All charges, including entrance fees, are clearly posted both at the entrance of the resort and on its Facebook page. This transparency builds trust and ensures that the guests know exactly what they are paying for. We also observe that the staff work closely with one another and have a good relationship. They also have a good connection with the resort owner. The resort also holds team building activities and Christmas parties for the staff. These events strengthen their bond and teamwork, which creates a positive working environment and adds to the overall hospitality culture. Bambi Resort creates a welcoming atmosphere where guests feel cared for and valued. The combination of friendly staff, attentiveness, focus on safety and cleanliness, transparent pricing, and strong teamwork among the staff and owner contribute to a positive and memorable guest experience.